The man dripped invisible foundation into the chemical liquid, mixed it evenly, then gently touched it with his fingertips a few times, sketched a few strokes on the tabletop, and then raised the ultraviolet lamp. One by one, invisible smiling faces appeared prominently. Then he soaked an ancient coin, ensured that the entire surface was completely covered, and then carefully packaged and sent it to the museum by express. The curator was deeply attracted by the ancient coin at a glance and couldn't wait to pick it up and play with it, not knowing that his fingers were already covered with foundation. At this time, the man's teammate, Bill, sneaked into the museum and disguised himself as a photographer to observe the movements in the museum. When the laser light on the instrument shone on the thermal sensing device in the display cabinet, it instantly triggered the alarm in the museum. Then, the emergency anti-theft system was immediately activated, automatically sealing a declaration of independence worth 1 billion into the underground vault. At this time, the curator quickly rushed to the vault to check, but just at the moment of entering the password, the foundation had already firmly adhered to the keys. Seeing the curator enter the vault, Bill took the opportunity to sneak into the control room of the museum, cut an opening in the pipeline, and implanted a data line carrying a virus into the monitoring system. And the man immediately disguised himself as a repairman and launched a thrilling theft operation. The thief disguised himself as a repairman and skillfully snuck into the museum. So he immediately rushed into the bathroom, removed the disguise, and transformed into a graceful figure. Then, he took the opportunity to blend into the lively dance party, using toasting as a cover to skillfully exchange the goblet in the curator's hand. Then, he released one, and under the pretext of feeling unwell, he returned to the bathroom. After quickly turning out the prepared toolkit, he dropped the fingerprint extractant on the medical cotton, and then put the wiped goblet into a sealed bag. In just a few seconds, the complete fingerprint became clearly visible. Then he put on special gloves and gently rubbed against the back, and the fingerprint was perfectly copied. With this fingerprint, he easily broke through the first line of defense of the vault, facing the solid safe in front of him. He used the ultraviolet lamp to illuminate the password keyboard, and accurately conveyed the corresponding numbers reflected by the foundation to his teammate. And Bill was stationed 1,000 meters away, and with just a black technology computer, he allowed Jesse to crack the password accurately. After entering the vault, he went straight to the center of the display cabinet, lifted the canvas covering it, and stole the Declaration of Independence worth millions. In order to make it easy to carry, he also unscrewed the frame with a screwdriver, carefully pulled out the scroll, and put it in a fresh keeping bag for sealing to ensure that it would not be damaged by external objects. But he thought everything was done seamlessly. But didn't he expect that the curator had already seen through his tricks? The reason why he didn't expose it was because the curator also longed to uncover the secret of the Declaration of Independence. And this seemingly ordinary scroll actually hid a treasure map. As long as they followed the clues to find the treasure, they could live comfortably for the rest of their lives. So Jesse immediately took a lemon and began to crack the eternal mystery behind it. The man stole an ancient famous painting, but unexpectedly, there was a treasure map behind the painting. Several thieves immediately decided to solve the mystery and pursue the legendary treasure. They first took a row of lemons, dipped the juice leaves with cotton swabs, and then smeared them on the scroll, with a row of eerie characters gradually emerging. They immediately conducted some research and finally decoded a set of precise coordinates. According to the guidance, Jesse found an ancient wall, and then he immediately took out a knife and dug out the red brick with a specific icon, successfully finding an 8 million antique glasses inside. Jesse carefully examined the glasses and found that it had double lenses, so he quickly put on the glasses to re-examine the famous painting and found that a 3D treasure map appeared on the originally empty paper. This made Jesse ecstatic, and he quickly took away the famous painting for further research. But unexpectedly, as soon as he left, 2 of his teammates were suddenly kidnapped by a group of robbers, and the leader of the robbers was the longtime enemy of Jesse, Spear. It turned out that Spear had been secretly looking for clues to the treasure, but had never been able to achieve his wish. After learning that Jesse was about to find the treasure, Spear forced Jesse to take him to find the treasure together. Soon, everyone came to a castle, but the scene inside made them greatly shocked. There was an unfathomable black hole under their feet, and there were extremely steep stairs hovering around. But in order to obtain the treasure, several people still bravely continued to move forward. Little did they know that the stairs had been eroded for hundreds of years, and a little carelessness would lead to eternal doom. Sure enough, before everyone had gone a few steps, a robber accidentally stepped in the air and fell from a high altitude until he completely fell into the abyss. Spear's heart immediately rose to his throat, but his greedy desire made him unwilling to give up and instigated Jesse to continue looking for the treasure. Fortunately, after going through many hardships, they finally reached the end of the tomb. But everyone was greatly disappointed and found that there was only a dead end ahead, except for an inexpensive petrification and only the lowest all over the ground. In a fit of anger, Spear immediately left gracefully by the elevator, leaving Jesse and his group to die. However, when everyone was extremely desperate, Jesse suddenly discovered the secret room switch. He pressed it with a try attitude, and as a result, a hidden stone wall appeared in front of him. They boldly walked into the tunnel to check, but they were completely dumbfounded. There were countless gold and silver jewels inside, covering an area comparable to a football field, worth at least hundreds of billions. But when they were extremely excited, Bill suddenly wailed loudly. It turned out that he found a rotating staircase in front, and above the staircase was the escape exit to the outside world. In the end, several people packed and took away all the jewels, and from then on, they reached the peak of life.